Welcome back, everyone, to my Let's Play of Dragoon X Omega I. Last episode, we ended up in Usand. We got a bunch of new equipment. We got the rail rifle and the Sigma shield. And we got some information as to where we can find the NukTek badge. The robot who used to work in the facility said he dropped his badge 70 south and 40 east of the castle here. So I'm going to use the locator cube to find that badge. Then we're going to head to the NukTek factory, make our nuclear bomb, and well, over there we're going to see to the south the Gamma-Tech. Gamma-Tech is where apparently the Gamma armor is, the best armor in the game. So we've got lots of ground to cover this episode. So a lot of that ground, of course, though, is going to be across ground where there are weak monsters, so we're going to use our skunk spray and the cloak spell to just avoid running into weaker encounters. Once we get to the snowfield, though, we'll start running into more encounters, some tougher enemies. I'm actually going to run into a few enemies that we haven't met yet, so I'm just going to head to the Nika resort and then head to the south of there. If you're following some of my advice on level grinding and where to go, we would have ventured down toward the snow area. We didn't grind in the snow area, but you know where the snow area is at because I mentioned this is a place once you got the red armor that you can start grinding around in. Now I'm actually going to venture into the snow area, and we're going to head over to the west. At the very end, we'll run into the NukTek building, and to the south there, that's Gamma-Tech. So we're going to go there in a little bit, but too bad there ain't like a small little bridge there. We'd be able to walk right to it. Let's talk to this robot. System online. Please show your NukTek ID badge to verify your clearance level. And we don't have it, so he kicks us out. But luckily, the badge is pretty close by to... it's actually on the same horizontal plane that the NukTek is on. We just have to walk over to the east a little bit. So there we just saw the importance of using the PSI block on the Guardians, else they try to heal themselves with that aura tap. So I always want to make sure we block that off. Otherwise they will, like I said, aura tap. We're actually going to learn that ourselves at level 17. So it might be a good spell to learn before we go to Gamma-Tech. Based on the base game, we had to fight an Axe Knight to get to Odric's armor. We're gonna have to fight a Mad Render. In this game, the equivalent of the Axe Knight. So having that aura tap spell would be kind of nice to heal yourself up if it hits you a bunch of times. But if you're smart, you can take it out at a much earlier level and just with pills. That's one of the reasons why I have a full stock of pills. Just head over to a little bit. I'm going to use our locator cube. Like I said, we're already on the right horizontal plane. So Amethyst Keep is 70 to the north and 39 to the west. We want to be 40 to the west, so we were just one step short. Step over one, and we run into another enemy, the Shadow Cyborg. So have the best evade in the game, I guess, because hey, they blend in with the background there. So, but not too bad of an enemy at this level. When we first started grinding around level 14 in the snow here to the west, they were a little bit tough, but not so bad now. These guys have become a little bit easier to the Weavers. We saw them in the last episode. But now with the rail rifle and the Sigma shield, not going to hurt us as badly. Don't feel bad about using all your aura. You want to keep yourself at high hit points. So the monsters can be a little tough around here. And we have another new enemy, the Mad Bot. So it surprisingly it's the strongest wizard type monster, magician type monster, and surprisingly it has a pretty decent chance to avoid the PSI block. I see 7 out of 16, so a little less than 50%. But they hurt really bad with their Mind Slay attack. we'll learn that spell ourselves. It's basically this game's version of Hurt More, and we'll learn that at level 19. Level 19 is basically what I'll be grinding to between this episode and the next. So we talk to the robot, and he gives us a nuclear bomb, and then he stops talking. That's basically the equivalent of the Rainbow Bridge, or the Rainbow Drop. We're gonna have to find a mountain. It's pretty easy to find where the mountain is. It's to the north of Usand. So that'll be our destination in the next episode. But before we go down to Gamatech, we want to make sure we have a full stock of pills, because Aura will not be able to keep up with the damage that the Mad Render will be able to do to us. So we want to stock up on pills, and then we can make sure we have the 6 card keys. Then we'll go heal ourselves up and make our way down to south of Usand, where we saw the Gamatech just when we went to the NukTek. Before we heal up, we'll cast the Cloak spell. We're going to lose a few of the stats because we're actually inside the shantytown here, but we now have Cloak on us and full hit points and magic points, so that'll get us most of the way to where we need to go, down to Gamatech. The Mad Renderer, just like the Axe Knight in the base game, it's a set encounter. So every time you step on the tile, you can fight the Mad Renderer over and over again. It's actually a pretty decent way to max out your levels. The Mad Render is worth 54 experience, and you can take it out in like 30 seconds as you get to higher levels. So it's probably maybe one of the quickest ways to get to max level. I will be getting to max level, like I said, for the bonus episode to show that off, along with the other endings where we didn't rescue Duke Argus and we defeat the game with Duke Argus, or in Duke Argus's mech. Just see how it slightly changes. So this is where I'll be doing grinding to the east of here, above Usand. That's where I'll be getting my level 17, 18, and 19. Like I said, at level 19 we'll get the final spell, the Hotmore spell, or in this game it's called Mind Slay. And that'll be really good, because then we're going to head into Tia Naar, where the Neverborn is, basically the Dragon Lord's castle. And there'll be some quite a few enemies that Mind Slay will be effective against, particularly at the bottom against the equivalent of the Armored Knights in this game, which are the Greater Renders, they're called. So, when I'm doing the grinding too, I'll also just do, I will be fighting a little bit of grinding in this area, just because in this area is where you can find the Great Spawn, which is the Metal Slime equivalent. So, but they're a really annoying enemy to fight, because they, just like the Metal Slimes, they run away often. But I'll be sure to capture myself defeating one of them, and just so I can show it off and show off the stats. And I'll just insert it into the next episode. More Madbots. Yeah, the best area is almost empty. Once you get the Great Spawn, that's the only enemy on the outside of the wall that we haven't encountered yet. All the other new enemies are all located inside the Neverborn's place. You have the Dark Horror with the blue dragons, Red Horror, the red dragons, Neutrinos, which is the Stone Man equivalent, and then I said there's Greater Renders, the Armored Knights. But for the first part of the Neverborn's place, it's going to be enemies like that are around here. You got the scaly horrors, guardians, mad bots. So, if you're comfortable leveling and defeating these monsters around here, you're good enough to go into the Neverborn's castle. Just like in the base game, the Neverborn castle is going to be the place where the ultimate weapon is, the Omega rifle. But unlike the base game, where you're able to find Odric's sword, the strongest weapon, halfway through the castle, so you don't have to necessarily run into tougher enemies like the red dragons and the armored knights. In this game, the Omega rifle is at the very bottom, really close to where the Neverborn is. So it makes sense to have that Mind Slave before going down to get that weapon. As I said, the Mind Slave really helps you out against the greater renders. So this is the Gamma Tech. It's basically like Hawksness in the base game, where it's a town that's just full of monsters. Tough monsters with that. But, like I said, it has the best armor in the game, so we have to come in here. Technically it isn't necessary, obviously. If you level up enough, you can, beat the game. I think there's challenges where people like see how fast they can beat the game on an equipmentless run. Basically, you run around the game beating everything with your fists and no armor. Basically, like a Final Fantasy monk. So here we are to the south of that little green desk. That is where the render is, the mad render. So just make sure we're healed up there. Step on the tile, and here's the mad render. The first thing you want to do is cast that PSI block on it, because it uses the stare ability, and the stare will knock you unconscious. And as you can see, it hits you for like 21, and that stare can knock you out for up to 6 turns. So if you get unlucky, he'll basically just beat you down while you're unconscious. But we did get lucky, finished him off pretty easily. And then we just search here, the tile he was on, and we obtain the Gamma AG armor. Like I said, the strongest armor, just like Odric's armor. Every step we take will recover 1 hit point, and now we have the PSI block will never work against us. As you can see, the Mad Render always reappears on this tile. So he's a little too tough right now for us to just farm consistently, because we'd be wasting a lot of time warping out of here and healing back up. But say it like at your mid-20s, he just basically becomes a pushover. He gets to the point where you basically don't even have to worry about the PSI block on him. You just run up, hit him twice, and he's done. So your levels get so high, like I said, that your mid-20s. So even though this is kind of like a dungeon, you don't have to cast the Outwarp spell to get out of it. You can just cast the teleportation spell. I just wanted to show that off real quick. You figure it's a dungeon because it's full of enemies, but it's considered a town, so. And I'm not worried about using all that, wasting that PSI points, because as you can see, I'm heading right back here to keep to save my game. So we covered a lot of ground, shorter episode, but we did a lot. Like I said, we got the best armor AG, and we have the nuclear bomb now to clear the way to the Neverborn's location. We'll still need those levels, though. I will get them in the next level, between these episodes for the next episode. Man, I'm getting all tongue-tied there. But just want to refill our pills. Pills are important for when we make our final run. So, yeah, almost done. We got next episode. We'll actually go into the Neverborn's location. We'll get the rifle, the Omega rifle, and then we will warp out, save our game, get to level 20, and then come back and take on the Neverborn in the final episode. So we don't need any more card keys technically, but my OCD says better spend money and just fill up my card keys to the max. So let's head to Lord Vin, save our game, and then we'll head back to Usand between episodes, grind up to level 19, and then I'll meet you back here as to we still have to explore this game's equivalent of Erdrick's Cave, but that's on the way to the Neverborn's castle. So we'll learn a little bit more about the plot from that, and we'll finally get a chance to see the final dungeon. Take care, have a good one, see you then. Bye.